Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. If you haven't played Call of Duty Zombies before and you're just getting into it with Black Ops 6 Zombies, this is the video for you. We're going to start off in the game's menu here and talk for just 60 seconds about the menus, and then we're going to jump into a game and I'm going to explain absolutely everything I'm thinking so that you can learn what's going through the head of a pro zombies player when he's playing a game of Liberty Falls. And that means going right back to basics and explaining things like how the rounds work, how the points works, etc. And that way by the end of the vid, you should have a pretty good understanding of the overall flow in a game of zombies, and you'll be able to apply that to every match of zombies you play in the future. So let's start out in the menu. You've got your loadout and your augments. Those are the two main things to focus on here. Your loadout is going to determine which gun you spawn in with in the map. And when you're just getting started, it really doesn't matter too much. So I would just pick whichever gun you think looks the most powerful. Now, as you play and you level up that gun, you're going to unlock attachments for it. And we'll talk a bit more about that as we play here. But you're going to be just fine if you've got no attachments on a gun. Like, it's still going to be viable. The other side of things in the menu is augments, and these are basically little skill trees that you can unlock for each perk, field upgrade, and ammo mod. So what you're going to need to do when you first start out is go to the research tab, and I would recommend starting to research Juggernog. Once you've got that selected, you can just start your game and you won't need to worry about these anymore for a couple of matches. But eventually you'll unlock some augments, and then you can go into this menu on the equip augments tab here, and you can select the ones that you want for the augments you've unlocked. And we're going to be working towards this one called reactive armor for Jug first, because I think that's just the best augment to get started with. So let's jump into the game here, and you'll start to pick things up as we go along. So when you spawn into the match, a few things are going to pop up. Number one, Blanchard on the side of your screen, who's actually underneath my camera right now, but you can see him there. You've also got these orange indicators, okay? We're going to worry about the orange in a second. First thing I just want to quickly say is do not activate this, okay? When you're getting started, this is off limits. So do not go near the Rampage Inducer. Now, as you start to get into the round here, you can see in the top right-hand corner, we're on round 1. Zombies are going to start spawning in, and these first couple of zombies, I'm just going to try and take them out. And I'm going to try and leave one alive. So we're going to kill those first 2. I'm going to kill another 3 here. Let's just kill these zombies. And you can see as I'm moving away from the zombies here, what I'm doing is I'm constantly holding back and to the side on my left stick. And that's going to mean that I'm sort of moving in a diagonal line, right? And then with my right stick, I'm kind of constantly adjusting my aim to still point at the zombies. And that's just a very, very basic way to hoard the zombies up and to just keep them in front of me so I can chat to you guys and I can explain things that are in the world around us, okay? This is the spawn area of Liberty Falls. If you want to know what that means, I've got a separate video on that, but we won't talk story today. Let's just focus on gameplay. You can drop down here. There's a ladder to get back up there, but ladders in zombies are a bit sketchy because, as you can see, zombies can still hit you while you're on the ladder, so just be careful of that. If we head down here, we're just going to jump down. This trap is in the spawn. We don't need to worry about traps right now, okay? So let's just ignore that. And then in terms of other things that are in the spawn, there's one thing that I want to point out to you guys, which is just useful to know, and it's this machine here. So if you come up to this machine and you just hit your melee button, oh my god, it gave me a free perk. Wow, that doesn't happen every day. So it's going to give you a random reward every single time you hit it. And looks like I got myself a free perk today. So that's pretty cool. Sometimes it'll give you 100 points. Sometimes it'll give you salvage, etc. But I'll explain those systems in just a second. The zombies themselves, when you kill them, are going to give you points, right? And if I shoot a zombie in the body here, that's going to give me 90 points. Whereas if I shoot a zombie in the head, there you go. You can see the yellow text that indicates that I got a critical kill there. That's going to give me 115 points. So it's worthwhile really trying to go for headshots at all times. You're also going to get fewer points for grenade kills, explosive kills, etc. All of that is going to be less than critical kills when you're hitting the zombies in the head. So make that your priority. Now, you can see I just ended the round and it flipped over in the top right-hand corner of the screen to round 2. On round 2, the individual zombies are going to have more health, so it's going to take more bullets to kill them, and they're going to spawn in greater numbers. So we had like 6 zombies on round 1, and we're now going to have like 10 or 12 zombies or something on round 2, and they're also going to start moving slightly faster, and that's going to continue going round by round for the entire duration of your game. Like, their health is just going to keep going up, and the number of zombies is going to keep going up as well. Let's just start working on taking some of these down. Going to be going for the headshots just to try and get as much money as possible. There we go. And what I'm doing here as well, as I move around, is I'm shooting the zombies in the head, but then every time I am done reloading, or I'm done shooting, sorry, and I go to reload, I'm turning around and I'm checking behind me, right? Because I don't want to get snuck up on by a sneaky zombie and then end up getting downed by it. So let's do that. This is a power-up. You get these randomly as you kill the zombies. That one's an insta-kill, so I can use that next round. I'm just going to wait for the time being because there's no zombies here, so I might as well just hold off on using the insta-kill until more zombies spawn in, and it's going to start blinking. It's only going to be present and available to grab for like 30 seconds, so once it starts blinking fast, which is not this speed, but it's this one, that's the speed where you should grab those. Insta-kill, as you might expect, means that zombies die in one hit, but it's still worth aiming for the head, even though technically if I shot one in the body, it would still die during insta-kill, but because I know that I'm going to get more points from headshots, I'm going to still try and keep those headshots coming, even though the insta-kill is active. So it's still worth trying to be sort of precise with the way you aim. Oh, missed that last shot, but thankfully insta-kill had ended. Oh, double points. You know what? Let's go to the next round, because there's not many zombies left alive right now. So if I kill this last zombie, the next round is going to start, and then I can use this double points to get loads of extra money during this next round, round 4. So I'm just going to wait here. Now, while I'm waiting, I'm going to wait for it to blink fast. You'll see in the bottom left-hand corner of my screen, I've got armor, right? And that's the blue plate. And to put new armor plates on, you're going to hold triangle, and that's going to do that animation. It's going to refresh your currently equipped armor plate to full. Now, you can buy more armor plates. We'll do that in a little bit here. Just for the time being, I'm going to try and keep my armor topped up with my singular plate. Now, the question is, why am I doing that, right? Like, why would I care about my armor plates in the first place? Well, as you can see, as I get hit by zombies, 2 things happen. Number 1, I take damage to my armor. So if I get hit by a zombie here, you see my blue in the bottom left corner is getting eaten into. That's because my armor's getting damaged, but I also am taking 17 damage per hit. So that's my health getting damaged. But if my armor breaks, which you can see by that little blue flash just there and the sound that it makes, now if I get hit by a zombie, you see he just boxed me, he did 30 damage. So armor nearly halves the amount of damage that you're going to take to your health bar by zombie hits, which means it's really worthwhile to keep your armor topped up at all times. And as you can see, hopefully here, as I kill zombies, you'll get armor plate drops from them. That's how you can kind of keep your armor topped up. So that's an armor plate. I've grabbed the plate that goes into my reserve, and I can now use that whenever my armor gets low. There's another drop. This one's a nuke. So, okay, let's just use the nuke. There's 2 zombies left alive. Gonna grab the nuke, and the zombies die, right? But what I could have done is I could have taken all the zombies out, and then during the round change, I could have grabbed the nuke, and that way it's not gonna kill any of the zombies. Now you might be wondering, why the hell would I want to do that, right? Simply because the nuke is gonna give you 400 points, but if I kill the zombies myself first, I'll get the points for killing the zombie, and then I'll get the extra 400 points, right? So it's just about trying to get as many points as possible, as fast as possible. Now, in a situation like this, you run out of ammo, you're like, what the hell do I do? You got 2 options. You could buy a wall gun. So there's a wall gun just there, for example. That's another pistol. Or you can buy yourself ammo at the ammo cache. Or I guess the third option would be to run over here and buy one of these doors. So these are door wall buys. So let's buy this one. That costs 1,500 points. And then there's gun wall buys as well. So if I buy that now, I'll have this gun, and then I'll still have the pistol in my other weapon slot, okay? Now, the nice thing about buying a gun off the wall is you can see that it's that green rarity. The rarity system in this game works similarly to the Pack-a-Punch system from previous games, if you're familiar with that. But if not, it's all good. I'll explain what it does. Basically, guns start out at gray rarity when you spawn into the match, and then you can upgrade them to green, blue, purple, and orange rarity. And each time you upgrade them, they're going to get a damage multiplier. So I think it's like a 1.5x multiplier. So I just got 214 damage to the head of this zombie. If I upgraded the rarity, it would do more than 214 to the head, all right? And the way you get your rarity upgrades is you get this stuff called salvage. So all of these green drops that I'm getting, there's actually some more over here on the floor. That's salvage, okay? And if you go over to this machine, and there are a couple of these on the map, which I'll point out. But if you go over to the arsenal machine and you go to the second tab, so ignore this first tab for now. You go to the second tab, that's where you can buy weapon rarity upgrades. But as you could see in the menu just then, on that page, I've already got green, so I don't need to buy that. So the next one will be blue, and that costs 1,000 salvage. All right, so we're not going to worry about it just yet. We're going to just keep opening the map. As you can see, I've got 6,000 points here, so I've got plenty to be getting on with. And we've also just flicked it over to round 6. Now, every 5 to 6 rounds, you're going to get what's called a bug round. This is the replacement of what the dog rounds used to be way back in the day. And basically, it'll spawn in. Where are they? These little things. These flying little goobers, these little worms. Now, for you, they might have legs. I've got arachnophobia mode turned on because I think it looks funny. And so it makes them turn into these little flying worms. They die very easily, though, as you can see, especially if you've bought yourself a wall gun. So they're pretty easy to take down. When you kill the last bug, it's going to drop you a max ammo, and I really recommend always moving away from those bugs because they do a lot of damage to you and they bite through your armor, so just make sure that you're keeping a good distance. But then, yeah, you're going to get a max ammo at the end, which is going to refill the ammo in both your primary and secondary weapon all the way to full, so you don't even have to reload, you just get all your ammo back. Another thing that I think is worth bearing in mind about the zombies in this game is that mantling is really good these days. You didn't used to be able to mantle in zombies, but you can now, so as you can see, if I'm shooting zombies here, and I'm like, oh, I'm going up the hill, but then I change my mind, you can climb up things like this, you can climb up here, you can climb up quite high surfaces like that, you can even go over here, and you see this little surface up there, you can climb all the way up there. Well, you're meant to be able to, hold on. Hold on. There we go. See? It is possible, I promise. Let's turn around and take out some of these zombies. So again, just to get that rhythm in, right? There's some vermin spawning as well. I'm going to shoot the zombies, turn around, look behind me, run away from the ones that are behind me. I'm going to shoot a little bit more. What's that drop? Max armor. Very nice. That's going to refresh all my armor and give me armor in reserve. And I really recommend when you're getting started with the game, just getting used to moving all the time, right? Like constantly being moving like this is going to do you wonders. It's really going to do you wonders. Now, you might have noticed this gun on the wall is blue instead of green. Now, the reason for that is that as the rounds progress, all of the wall guns are going to slowly flip from green rarity to blue to purple to orange. And that means that you don't need to spend any salvage on actually getting the weapon rarity upgraded. You can just get it off the wall, but it's going to happen bit by bit. So you can see this one is still green. This is the one that I bought. So there isn't always an easy shortcut other than just getting to the next round. And then you might find that some of those wall guns do start getting to a higher rarity. This is the crafting table. I wouldn't use this too much at the start of your game. You can craft extra armor plates here for 50 salvage, but honestly, to begin with, I wouldn't worry about this because you want to save your salvage for use on other things, such as weapon rarity upgrades or getting yourself an ammo mod. So if we go to the left tab here, these ammo mods all have their own unique effects to use on the zombies. Let's start with dead wire. If we shoot zombies with dead wire, it's going to stun them like that. And if they're in a group, that will actually chain to the entire group. And another quick tip also is that you can pull your knife out by holding your melee button. That's the button that you normally press just to melee. If you hold it down, you'll pull your knife out. And you can pack a punch the knife. You can upgrade its rarity. You can put ammo mods on it, like all sorts of stuff. There we go. So, as you can see, a bunch of the zombies got zapped. A bunch of them are taking damage. I'm getting a bunch of kills here. It doesn't stun the entire horde necessarily, like there's just too many zombies to do that, but still, it's decent. Another little basic tip to give you guys here is you can see in the bottom right-hand corner of my screen, I got my field upgrade charged up. And to start with, you're going to have energy mine, but you can unlock some much better ones later on as well. And if I just use this to show you how it works, it's going to send out a pulse like that. It's going to go 3 times, and that's going to kill any zombies that get caught up in its radius. And then you just got to get about 100 kills, and that will cause it to get charged up all over again. So we're just going to keep fighting through the rounds here, and that will mean that we can start getting back towards having another usage of our energy mine ready to go. Now, I mentioned earlier that you can upgrade your armor. If you come into this Ollie's comics shop quite near to the spawn, we're going to buy this door here. This blue thing is going to get me to tier 2 armor. So you can see I've got 2 plates here, and there's another place on the map a little bit further on that is going to let me get to purple armor, and that's tier 3, but that costs 10,000 points. The blue one only costs 4,000, so it's a little bit of a better deal. So we just got a full power up. So when I grab that, you'll see my field upgrade is now ready to use all over again. So I have that nice and stored up now, ready for whenever the next situation requires me to use it. Now, seeing as we're starting to get through some of these rounds, I'm going to do 2 things. Number 1, while I'm here, I am going to hit this. Oh my god. I've never had that luck before in my life. Like, I've quite literally never been that lucky to get 2 perks from that thing. Normally it gives me like chocolate bars. That is insane. The streamer loot right now is crazy. Okay, well, I've got Speed Cola and I've got Deadshot. You might be wondering, what the hell do those do, right? If you're new to zombies, you might not know what they are. Speed Cola means that, as you can see, I'm now able to reload this weapon a little bit faster, okay? And Deadshot is going to mean that I do extra damage to critical hit spots. So I do extra damage to the zombies' heads, and it's going to mean that I can snap to the zombies' heads using my left trigger. So it's quite a light sort of touch. It doesn't really act that aggressively, but it's just going to give you a little bit of a nudge towards their heads to make it easier to aim at them. So I've got this double points. That's going to mean that all the points that I earn are doubled. So let's grab that. Let's spray into the heads here. Try and get as many points earned as I possibly can. As you're going through the rounds here, you're going to want to start opening up the map, as I've been doing. That's Speed Cola, right? That's going to make me reload faster. I can start buying a couple more doors. This area is a little sketchy, as you can see. It's a little bit tighter, right? There's a lot of cars in the way, but bear in mind, you can mantle on them. And that's useful because on round 11, like 10, 11, you're going to start getting these guys spawning in. This is a Mangler, and you're going to get very familiar with Manglers over time. That's going to be something that you're really familiarized to. Basically, Manglers shoot a cannon at you, and the cannon is going to do damage when it hits you. And you can hurt Manglers in a few different ways. You can shoot their helmet off, and then once it pops off, you'll do crit damage to their heads. Or you can shoot their arm. So I'm going to try and shoot their arm cannon here. Oh, my dead wire just activated on him. That's quite nice. Let's just try and shoot his arm cannon. There we go. He's amongst all the zombies. Maybe let's try a grenade. Let's do this. And I'm going to buy ammo at the ammo cache. Lovely. Okay, so the grenade actually popped off his helmet, you can see. So he's now going to take crit damage to the head. As you can see, it's yellow, so that's crit damage. But another tip is the insta-kills are not going to instantly kill the Mangler, as you can see, but they are going to make him take even more damage. So you see how he died in 2 hits to the head just then? That was thanks to insta-kill. Now, a nice thing about crawlers, like you can see here, is that they're pretty slow, right? And if you don't want to go to the next round just yet, and you want to kind of have a breather, get yourself a crawler like I've got, and that's going to mean that you can kind of hang out on the map, and it's going to take quite a while for them to get to you, and so it's just quite relaxed. So we've got 2 options right now. We could open up into the church, which is our next objective. That's going to be this door here. Or we could go and get ourselves Jug. Now, for most of you guys, I would recommend before you go into the church, you open to this area here, like I've showed you earlier on, okay? And then you open this door. This is going to open the bank, and Juggernog is inside. If you lie down in front of Jug, it's going to give you 100 points. And then I'm going to grab my Jug. That's going to mean that I have extra health. And I also really highly recommend you go into this room here and you buy yourself Quick Revive. Now, a lot of people might think Quick Revive is pointless in solo, right? But it really isn't. It's a very good perk because it's going to mean that your health is going to regen faster. So before Quick Revive, if I take a hit here, there we go. The time it's going to take for my health to go from 229 back to full is 6 seconds. Whereas with Quick Revive, I get hit, and it's just a couple of seconds. I think it's 3 seconds total, and then it's going to go back. So it doubles the speed at which your health starts to regen, which is really huge. You don't want to be left on low health forever. So Quick Revive is a very, very good pickup as well. So let's open up the church here, and let's go inside. So this is a pretty cool looking room, right? Looks pretty neat. And the Pack-a-Punch is in here. So let's go hit the Pack-a-Punch. There we go. That's going to mean that our gun also does more damage, but it does come with a slight change, which is that it also means that at the ammo caches, ammo is now going to cost 1,000 points instead of 250. So just be aware of that. And while you're in here, you can hit these, and that's going to get you salvage, and sometimes you'll get, that's a combat axe. What else can we get here? We got thermo grenade. Once you get to round 10, I really think it's a great idea to come over to this little front church area and look for this head on this spike. When you find that head, you can throw an explosive up at it, like I just did. And did I fail? Nope. Okay, I got it. If you can successfully blow up the head, it's going to start raining zombies from the sky. This can only be done once in your game. I just finished the round, so I got my max ammo. But the zombies that drop are going to give you points and things like that. And they're also going to give you Scorestreaks. So I'm just going to keep grabbing the points that they're dropping. They're going to give you salvage, as you can see. There's a score streak. It dropped an RC car for me. But the really juicy reward that it's going to give you here is a blue wrench. But the blue wrench is only going to come if you're doing it round 10 onwards. Otherwise, it's going to be a green wrench before that. And what the blue wrench does is it's going to automatically boost our weapon rarity to blue. So I've got a green gun right now. If I can find my blue wrench, there it is. It's on this car. Boom, you'll see I go from green to blue straight away. So that saves me the salvage of trying to upgrade this myself at this machine, right? It could cost me 1,000 points, but instead I'm going to avoid having to pay the salvage. All right, let's end the round. Nice. So that's how this is going to start going at this point in the game. You're going to start kind of getting into a little bit of a rhythm, a little bit of a flow, but the key is to keep moving, and the key is also to make sure that you're kind of getting various upgrades as you go so that you can meet the increasing power of the zombies, right? So the zombies are stronger, and there's more of them now. So I've got Pack-a-Punch, and I've got Deadwire, right? As the zombies got more strong, I'm going to need to upgrade even more. You can see I've got 11,000 points right now, nearly 12,000. Once I get to 15,000, I can go in there and I can get Pack-a-Punch tier 2. Or I can spend my money on more perks. So let me show you what the perks option looks like. There's PhD Flopper. So if you want to use explosives, this is a really great perk. And if you buy this thing, we can use this cable to go up to the roof here. Now, later in your game, there's going to be a machine that spawns in just here where you can buy all the perks. It's called the Wunderfizz. But just for the time being, it's not there. It only spawns in on round 25. Now, there are these purple clouds around the map. You don't need to worry about those right now either. That is an Easter egg thing. Again, we're going to worry about that later. The priority for you right now, to be honest, if you're in this area, is going to be to get out of this area. You don't want to be caught in the graveyard. You can do some tricks like jumping between these little areas, but it's going to get really sketchy very fast, so I wouldn't do that too much. Instead, let's buy ourselves the tier 3 armor plate so we're even safer, and then let's run away out of the graveyard. We do not want to stay here for very long. As we go through the rounds here and I get more points, I want to keep exploring the map with you guys, so I can open up to the bowling alley, Liberty Lanes. All right, we're going to buy that. This is a spot that people really like camping in. There's a lot of people that really like just sort of sitting in here and hanging out on the actual bowling lanes themselves. But as you might have just noticed, I've got one of these guys spawning in now. And that means that it's probably not a good idea for me to stay in here. So I'm going to run away. I'm just going to run through his beam here. And we're just going to try and get as far away from that thing as possible. I'm going to run all the way past. There's Stamin-up. We'll grab that later. That's going to make you run faster. I'm going to buy this door, shoot back a little bit here, and we're going to get away from the Abomination. Now, as you can see, I'm in a kind of sketchy scenario because I just ran out of ammo. Ammo's going to cost 1,000, and I only just have 1,000 points, so that could have been bad, right? But it's going to be okay. We're going to buy the ammo cache there. Now, the first time you take down your Abomination, it's going to feel horrible, all right? You're going to hate it. You're going to be like, man, this sucks. Why is the Abomination so difficult? But after a while, you're going to start to find some strats that work quite nicely. So, when the Abomination is doing its little beam, it opens its mouth. So you can see it's going to run here, it's going to charge at me, and then it's going to open its mouth in just a second. Come on, open up, buddy. We're going to see a nice blue glow when it opens its mouth. Let's just keep mantling. There you go. You see how it's blue there? That's going to mean it starts taking crit damage. So you're going to need to focus on shooting its mouth when the mouth goes blue. Really, really try and be accurate. Let's get that blue mouth. Try and aim for that mouth. Oh, he's charging me. It's staggering me as well. Anytime I get staggered, I sort of instinctively start replating. That's gonna be a good way to go there. Let's see, where is he again here? Blue mouth. Okay, perfect. And you can pop those mouths. As you can see, I've already done. I've popped 2 mouths here. And if you pop all 3 mouths, he will instantly die. So I've just got 1 mouth left to do. And it looks like that might be Abomination dead. Wonderful. So now I can kind of hoard the zombies up here. And what you can see I'm doing is I'm kind of running in like a figure 8 kind of pattern. You see how I'm running? I'm going to the side, then I'm going back to the side, running, going to the side, going back to the side, running past, going to the side, then going back to the side. That's a very typical hoarding pattern. Some people would call that a cutback. So if you're sort of running like this, you run around the zombies and then you turn around and you run like that. Just instead of doing like a full circle like I'm doing here. That's just a normal kind of circle hoarding pattern. But a cutback would be running around and then cutting back and running around and then cutting back and running around. That's what cutbacks are. Let's take out a couple more of these zombies. There we go. We're doing pretty good damage right now still. And I've got 2 zombies left alive. So I want to keep one of them alive so I can explore. So let's just take out this stinky little gremlin there. Now, a little pro tip is you can, boom, hit this little thing and you'll get yourself 100 free points. And like I mentioned before, lying down in front of the perk machines also gives you 100 points. And Stamin-up is a really good perk. So we're going to buy that, and you'll see if I tack sprint here, let's just grab this salvage. Thank you. If I tack sprint, that's the fastest possible sprint, but it's got a limited duration. And eventually, you see how my gun went back down there? That means I ran out of tack sprint, okay? So the difference was that's tack sprint, and then that's normal sprint, right? But if we buy Stamin-up, it's going to give us a longer tack sprint. So we're going to buy that there. Drink the perk. It's going to pop up on the UI at the bottom. And now, my tack sprint is going to last longer. So it's a really nice perk to have for just running away from the zombies. And running away from the zombies is basically your primary priority in this game. So let's take out the zombie here and get on to the next round. We've got to talk about the mystery box. We've got to. Because most players will spawn into their game, right? And they will be in the spawn area like that. And they'll see, oh, the mystery box is over here. I'll buy open this way, right? And then I'll just hit the mystery box straight away. The problem is going to be that if I get enough points to actually hit the box here, because I'm a little low on money, let's just get points real quick. Yeah, if I hit the box, that's going to spin, but it's going to give me a gun that isn't super high rarity. Okay, well, it's just trying to show me up. It's giving me a purple gun. That's pretty good. Towards the beginning of your game, if you were spinning on like round 5, right? You'd be getting a green gun out of the box. Buying a green gun out of the box is just not a worthwhile way to spend your money when you're first beginning your match. To be honest, you should probably be focusing on just opening doors and stuff like that so you can get to the pack-a-punch machine. Like maybe one spin of the box would be valid, but what if it gets you a terrible weapon, right? What if it gets you a pistol? Then you've just wasted a bunch of money, right? But the cool thing about the box is that as you go through the rounds, it's going to start giving you higher and higher rarity weapons. So now that I'm on round 16, it's just giving me a purple. You're not going to get a purple on round 4, or at least it's going to be very rare. And if I got to like round 30 here, for example, then if I span the box, I have a much higher chance of getting a gold weapon. And if I get really lucky, I might even get a ray gun. So if you're trying to get a ray gun out of the box, spinning it at round 5 is going to be much more of a waste of points compared to spinning it later in your match. So hoard those points up, maybe pack a punch a weapon first, get comfortable in your game, and then spin the box later in your game when you have surplus money to spend. We've got another little bug round here. So I'm going to take this as an opportunity to show you guys the Scorestreaks. So let's just get out into the open here. So earlier on I picked up a chopper gunner. You can craft those chopper gunners at the crafting tables, but you can also just get them from killing special zombies and stuff like that. And if I pull out my Scorestreak here, as you can see, the chopper gunner is going to let me rain hell from above. So all these bugs are just going to die. You can see, look, that's where I'm standing. There's no way you can kill yourself while you're using the chopper gunner, so don't be worried about that splash damage. Unfortunately, some zombies will run inside, so it's a little hard to actually take them down. I might be kind of screwed here because these guys are all kind of hiding from me currently. And you can only hold one Scorestreak at a time. So a chopper gunner is a really good one to hold. And so is a Multiphasic Injector, which we'll hopefully find in a couple of rounds here. There's my max ammo. Lovely. So another thing that you'll notice in your game is your Gobblegums, right? These are the Gobblegum machines. This is where you can spin for gobbles, but you're going to spawn in with Gobblegums in your pack, okay? I've got some whimsical ones on here, which are just for funsies. So if I activate Newtonian Negation, it's going to do that animation. And then for a limited time, any zombies that I kill are going to fly into the air like that. So that's what Newtonian Negation does. It's just a sort of goofy Gobblegum. All the whimsical ones that are that color, they're the sort of multicolored color. Those are going to have goofy effects. Whereas other Gobblegums, like for example this cashback Gobblegum, that, if I pop it here, is going to spawn in a max ammo for me. Okay? So different gobbles do different things, and you earn them through gameplay. So if you don't have any Gobblegums at the start, don't worry, you'll continue to earn them as you play the game. While the insta-kill's active, if I spray into this guy, he's going to die really fast. And let's see, did he drop anything of note? He dropped a key. Okay, well, I've already got a key. And you can check your inventory on the scoreboard page, just here, if you pull that up. But let's explain how the key works. So we're going to head into the bank, and inside the bank, just here... Oh, there's a bunch of zombies in here. Let's be careful of them. There's a vault, okay? And if you interact with the vault door, you can see that you need a 3-section combination, all right? You can find that combination in your game by looking at these post-it notes. So you can see here, it says that the first number for me is 16, because it's the leftmost number. We now just need to find 2 more locations with post-it notes. So one thing I can do is I can open this door. There we go. Then I can go through here. That's going to open this. That door is not going to be buyable from this side, so you have to go through the bank in order to open that up. But by going out here, we can then run to this location. And inside the comic shop, if you look underneath this desk, there's another number. So that's 58. So 16, 58. And then the third one here is going to be inside the bowling alley. And for this one, you're going to need to shoot this little bottle of bottles out of the way. And 25 is our final number. Okay. So now we're going to go back to the bank. And I'm going to interact with this. And I'm going to type the numbers in. 16. 25. Once that's done, it's going to do a little animation, so it won't be instantaneous. It's going to take a second here. We're just going to wait. And then once the smoke comes out, you can press square to enter the vault. And inside there's some free points, which is nice. Grab those. And then you've got 40 seconds, as you can see on the left-hand side. So you can go to any of these glowing little boxes and use your key on the box. And then you can hold square to loot it, and it's going to give you some rewards. So it gave me a gun, it gave me an armor plate, and it gave me a concussion. So not amazing by any means. Like, that is really not fantastic. It's just some sort of boring loot here. But that's because I used a green key. As you get further into your game, you're going to get higher rarity keys, and you can hold square to leave the vault there. But you're going to get higher rarity keys, and those keys are going to give you better rewards. So don't be dissuaded just because the loot there was pretty bad. Another thing I need to explain is this thing. So this is going to spawn in somewhere on the map as you play, and you can tell where it is because it's going to move. You can tell where it is by this storm. You see that in the sky? That will move around. And so it's kind of like the mystery box, but it's this purple light instead of the mystery box light, which is blue. That's the mystery box. That's the SAM trial. If you go over to the SAM trial, you can pay points to activate it, and it will then give you a trial on the side of your screen. So I have to use mutant injections, and it's going to give me those Scorestreaks in my inventory, okay? So I'm actually going to take out this zombie here, just so I get more zombie spawns. Purple-eyed zombies are zombies that are spawning specifically for the SAM trial. So those are good zombies for you to take down for this. And I'm just going to activate my mutant injection. There we go. And then I'm going to use this. So this is what the mutant injector looks like, as you can see. You can melee zombies. You can charge them. Hold on. Let me just try the charge attack here. Wait for it. There we go. So that's what the charge looks like. That's pretty cool. And you can shoot your cannon at them as well, as you can see. And we just need to try and get as many kills as possible during the mutant injection. And then we're going to get gold rewards here. So that's what we're going for. That's going to end the trial. And if I leave my mutant injection here, I'm going to head over to the box that replaces the trial machine. And if I open that up, that's going to give me rewards as well. This is an especially good one. So Kazimir's, the way they work. So we're getting some zombies here. I'm going to throw a Kazimir. And as you can see, it creates a portal that sucks zombies inside. So it's really, really good for just wave clear. And I can jump into it, and I can transport myself somewhere on the map as well. It's just going to put you in a random location. I've got 16,000 points. That's quite a nice opportunity to use the Pack-a-Punch machine again to get this gun to Pack-a-Punch tier 2. So there's 3 Pack-a-Punch tiers total. The first one is 5,000 points. The second one is 15,000, and the third is 30,000. So it's really expensive, but as you start getting to the higher rounds, you're going to need the extra power. So what I'm going to do, just like I did with the rocket launcher, is I'm going to use up the rest of the ammo here, just to be efficient, right? I'm going to use up all this ammo, trying to still sort of look behind me. There we go, we're getting pretty low. There's multiple Manglers spawning in now, so it's getting a little bit more crazy. And then I've hardly got any ammo left. So this is a good opportunity for me to go to the machine and buy that for my next level of Pack-a-Punch. And then I'm going to get out of that room as fast as I can because it's really sketchy in there to stay in there for too long. So, tier 2 Pack-a-Punch. I'm now going to be killing zombies a lot faster, as you can see. And it's also going to mean that I'm going to do more damage to the Manglers. So, where are they? Where are they? Let me at them. There they are. Let's see how fast I can pop his helmet. Oh, wow. He's already dead. That was very quick. So yeah, Pack-a-Punch tier 2. Pretty good. Now, there's also certain things that are super effective on those special zombies, okay? So, this big Abomination, for example, if I run back over to the... Well, okay, let me just work my way over there. Here we go. If I run back over... Let's use that as well, just to clear out some of the horde. If I run over to this machine, and I put the Napalm Burst ammo mod on it, so that's this one just here... Napalm Burst is super effective on Manglers. So, I can sort of get out of harm's way. Let's just take out a couple more zombies here. And try and get some clean shots on the Mangler. Where are ya? Where are ya? As you can see, you see that little fire icon? That's an indicator that he's weak to fire damage. And so it's a really good idea on this map specifically to always use Napalm Burst once you've got it unlocked. Because there's a lot of Manglers. And Napalm Burst also has the effect of turning zombies into little fireballs. So it's useful. It's very useful. The nice thing about Napalm Burst once you get Augments is that it's also going to be super effective on the Abomination over there. But it's not going to affect the Abomination fully until you get an Augment called Big Game. And that's going to cause it to properly affect elites. So it's still worthwhile getting it for the Abominations at this point. Because as you can see... fire damage, but once you get Big Game, you can set the elites on fire, and that's going to just do even more. So I'm going to keep spraying into its eyeballs here, or its mouths, or whatever. Same old process. I think it would probably be worthwhile me just running through a couple of quick pro tips to help get you up to speed on the way that people usually play zombies. So, first of all, when you have Deadshot, right, I mentioned that it's going to help you snap to the enemies, right? If you spam your left trigger, it's going to help you just sort of stay on target the entire time. So you can just spam like that and spam shots. And you'll just constantly be snapping to the head consistently. So that's a good little Deadshot tip. And Melee Macchiato, I guess I can show you guys this as well. So let's run over here and grab ourselves Melee Macchiato. There we go. And this is going to mean that I can box zombies and it will do more damage to later rounds. And it also means that the knife, the dedicated melee weapon, also does more damage, but because I've not upgraded it, it's not very good right now, so I think Melee Macchiato is something that you can probably just avoid, especially because you're not going to have Augments for it straight away, and it's much better once you get Augments, but not really much better before. So, let's talk a little bit more about Augments. How do you get them, and which are the best ones? I would say the best ones, probably to start researching first, are for Juggernog, and you're going to want to go for Reactive Armor. And I would also say for Quick Revive, the Dying Wish Augment is really, really good. So I would start working on those. And the way you get them is just getting as much XP as possible and leveling up like I've just done, going through as many rounds in your game as you can. I think the most guaranteed way to get Augment progress is just to actually progress through rounds. So that's been the way that I've kind of grinded for them in my matches. So I'm just going to still run in circles here. Shooting some fire damage into the Manglers when I get a second, but not getting too greedy. That's a nuke. Nice. Now, nukes also, they're not going to kill elites and, like, special zombies, but they're going to do a big chunk of damage, like you just saw. So they're still going to survive the nukes, sadly, but he's pretty weak afterwards. And he dropped me a Mangler cannon as well. How kind of him. So let me go use the purple key that I got in the bank real quick and see if I got anything good. Anything nice? Oh, I got a free self-revive. So that's extra nice because self-revives can only be crafted 3 times from the crafting bench. And so getting one out of the vault, like you just saw, means that you get an extra self-revive on top of the 3 that you can craft. Sadly, I already had one in my inventory, so I had to leave it there in the vault. But yeah, if you don't have one and you get one from the vault, it's your lucky day. Now, I should probably also just quickly showcase PhD here, because PhD is a really good perk, but it's only good in certain scenarios, really. So you can see I've got this rocket launcher, right? I'll grab myself PhD here. Then, if I grenade the ground, I don't take any damage, right? So it's going to prevent you from doing self-inflicted grenade damage or explosive damage or whatever. Here's a grenade. I'm just going to cook this grenade here. I'm going to throw it at the ground. And boom. Doesn't hurt me. However, you will still get stun damage from cars exploding and stuff like that, so just be wary of that. But yeah, if you're doing a strat with things like this rocket launcher, and you're worried about blowing yourself up, PhD is the way to go. And it's pretty cool. Look at this. I can just sort of stand here and shoot the ground, and all the zombies die. There we go. Whoops, fell down there. Let's make sure I'm armoring up as I go. And because we're at round 25 now, or 26, I can go over here, and this is the Wunderfizz. So as you can see, all perks in the map are buyable in one place from this thing. Every single one. And this perk, Elemental Pop, is one of the only perks that I've not fully explained yet. So what that's going to do is it's going to mean that as I shoot zombies, you see how this zombie just went green health bar and it started fighting for me? That's because it got brain rot on it. That's one of the ammo mods in this game. There are like 6 or 7 of them. And Elemental Pop is going to randomly activate those ammo mods as you shoot the zombies. So not only am I going to get my Napalm Burst, which I still have on my gun, but I'm also going to get the other ammo mods activating as well. Yeah, so this is starting to shred the zombies now, because I've got those weapon rarity upgrades, so I'm getting damage from that. I've got those Pack-a-Punch levels, so I'm getting extra damage from that as well. So overall, it's pretty damn strong, which is really, really nice. But it could be better. And the reason it could be better is I could be using... I'm just going to grab that full power there. I could be using attachments, okay? So as you level guns up, you're going to unlock attachments for them. And what those attachments are going to do is give you different buffs. Now, there's a few attachments that I really strongly recommend. One is the CHF barrel, once you get that. And that's going to give you extra headshot damage or crit damage. And the other is the suppressor attachment, and I would put that on absolutely everything that you get. That's going to give you more salvage drops from zombies. So right now you can see Elemental Pop activating there. Right now, I get a pretty good amount of salvage, but because this gun actually has a suppressor on the end of it, as you can see, it's going to be giving me more than I would normally earn. And you obviously want as much salvage as possible to get your weapon rarity upgrades, so extra salvage is a big deal. And there's no downside to putting a suppressor on too, so it's really worthwhile doing it, and you'll always unlock the suppressor pretty early on in the weapon leveling. So the last perk is available only at the Wunderfizz. Let's chuck a decoy just so I don't get swarmed. And it's Vulture Aid. It's this one down here, okay? And what Vulture Aid is going to do is it's going to mean that I'm going to buy this actually, and then I'm going to zipline across here. You do have to buy it before you can zipline. But then I can go back again as well, which is nice. But what Vulture Aid is going to do is it's going to mean that zombies are going to start dropping extra little bits of goodies for me. So you'll see as I start taking some of these zombies out. Let's see. Can somebody demonstrate for me, please? Come on, I need a volunteer. There we go. So you see how they're dropping little points bundles now? That's because I got Vulture Aid. So if I grab this double points, and then I grab all those points, that's going to give me even more. It's not a lot of points per little points bundle, but still, every little helps, right? So it's quite a cool perk to have, and it's also going to mean that you're going to get more equipment drops, you're going to get more salvage, like, it just adds to your drops overall, and some of its augments are pretty cool too. But again, we'll talk more about augments at the end of the video. So I mentioned the Gobblegums earlier, right? If we use indigestion, this is another silly one that causes the zombies to fart when they die, but then you can hit this machine here, and after a couple of seconds, it's going to spit out another Gobblegum. So, I'm just going to run over to it. Let's see, which one did I get? I got anywhere but here. Oh, well, I didn't grab it. Okay, never mind. I actually missed, I missed the drop, but that's fine. You could grab it, and then you can use Gobblegums just by picking them up there. So in a point like this, you might be like, okay, I'm getting in the sort of higher rounds now. It's starting to get a little slow to take out all these zombies. You could absolutely just craft yourself a support streak, right? Like, you could craft yourself a multiphasic, pop that bad boy, and then boom. You're in it now, and you can just start shredding everything. And this is a really nice thing to do if you start getting, like, loads of these guys, right? You start getting loads and loads of Manglers, and you also start getting a load of Abominations, and they're just annoying you. This is a fast way to take them down. So there's an Abomination. Look, I can just bludgeon it to death, and it's going to be really, really strong. There we go. The bomb is nearly dead. Boom. Easy. And you can't die while you're in this thing, by the way. So this is just easy mode. Like, literal easy mode. Now, on these higher bug rounds, you're going to start noticing you get a lot of bugs. So I'd really recommend you just keep moving. Like, increasingly in the game, more and more and more. This is a trap as well. You could use that. More and more. You just got to keep on moving. That is the order of the day. Use the traps to your advantage to take zombies out. That's going to really help you sort of zone them and keep them away from you. You'll see that they just get slowed there. It makes life easy mode. And boom. Wow, that was an incredibly fast bug round. Very nice. Grab all of this stuff. Now, there are also free power-ups that you can get on these maps. So I'll show you one example of that now. This is technically a little side Easter egg, which we're not going to be too focused on today. But just for an example, you see this little skull just here? If you shoot that, you get a free insta-kill. Which is quite a nice little trick to be able to pull out at any given time. Let's say you're like, oh, having really a difficult time on round 27 with all these Manglers and Abominations. You can just very quickly go over there, shoot that free insta-kill, and then that's going to make your round extremely easy. And that's also not going to mean that you get fewer drops from the normal zombie drops. So I just got this one insta-kill here, right? But I got pretty lucky, and another one just spawned in here as well. So I can now get that and have even longer in my insta-kill. So this round's going in the blink of an eye. This is lovely. Another thing that might be useful to know is that if you hit the mystery box too many times, which we're doing here in just a moment. There we go. Okay, there we go. So you flip the box too many times, you're going to get a teddy. All right? Mr. Peaks is going to rise out of the box. That's the little blue bunny. And then the box itself is going to disappear. Oh, no. But it's okay because it's just moving. All right, so I'm just going to grab one of the random guns that I got out of the box here. And basically all you've got to do is you've got to look on the outside of the map and you'll see the beam has moved. And that then indicates to you where the mystery box has moved to. Pretty simple. Now, another thing that's really important to understand is, like, I've just picked up this gun, right? And you can see it's got attachments on it. How the hell have I done that? That's zombie builds. It's in the menu. You don't do it in the game. You do that via the menu. And again, that's something I will explain at the end. You can also get Scorestreaks out of the box, as you just saw. I'm just trying to get ray gun out of the box here. Oh, I've got a Thrusterdyne. So this is the map's wonder weapon. Okay. There's different wonder weapons on every single map, so you won't always get the same one. But this wonder weapon is pretty cool because if I just get to a sort of clear location here so I don't accidentally end the round, what you'll see is it has two uses. Number one is it will suck like that. You can suck zombies. And number two is you can use a blast to blast outwards and kill the zombies around you. And then it will go to 0 ammo, and you'll need to wait for it to recharge in the bottom right-hand corner, which just takes a couple seconds. And after those seconds have passed here, there you go. It will start recharging, and then you can start sucking again. So that's the jet gun. There's also the ray gun wonder weapon. Both of them are really good, and both of them can also be pack-a-punched to be more powerful as well. One last thing I need to show you on this round is this door. Just don't be surprised, okay, if you run up these stairs here and you're like, oh, I'm just going to get away from the zombies for a minute, and then this happens, okay? That's going to happen every single time you play this map. The zombies inside that room are programmed to pop out of that room in that way, and that's because you can use that room to actually build yourself this wonder weapon for free. I'll have a link at the end of this video to a guide that explains exactly how you do that. But you use the wonder weapon in conjunction with the table back here, okay, to do this map's Easter egg. But that's a topic for another day. Like I said, I'll have links at the end of the video to explain what the hell that all means. Now, also, every 5 or 6 rounds, you're going to see this pop up, okay, the Exfil symbol. And the Exfil symbol means that you can go over to this little walkie-talkie and you can activate an Exfil. So I'm going to do that here. Call the Exfil. And then you're going to have a timer start. You're going to need to run all the way to an Exfil point. And there are going to be a couple of potential Exfil locations, okay? One is just down here, this area of the map. The other is up here. So you can see this is the second. I got this one just here. Now, what you've basically got to do during the Exfil is take out all the zombies that are in the map. But they need to be killed in the Exfil location. So it can get pretty scary, but that's why I've got this Scorestreak with me. So I'm standing on the roof here. I can just use this rocket. And as you can see, that's going to make life really easy. You can also fire little rockets out of this rocket. And boom. That just took out a bunch of zombies. And it did a bunch of damage to, look, the Mangler's nearly dead already. Like, it's a much nicer way to fight through some of this stuff. Let's just keep on firing. Wow, I got another one. I'm just going to use that straight away. There we go. Let's use this again here. And boom. All right, there's 2 zombies remaining. I'm guessing one of them is the Abomination. Got a smoke grenade here. That's a zombie. There we go. There's the Abom. So I'm just going to shoot into its mouth here. There we go. That's 1 mouth down. 15 seconds. It's going to be close. Come on. Show me your mouth. Oh, it's actually going to be really close. Oh, God. I might fail this. I might fail this. No. Shoot the mouth. Quickly. Die, you stinky sausage. God damn it, dude. I failed. Okay, that's all good. So what you could have done just then is you can activate this nuke power up on the roof. That's going to help you as well. But I've saved that for my tips and tricks videos. Like, I've saved that for other content. I didn't want to go through too much of that just here. I figured that the Scorestreaks would be enough, to be honest. But yeah, still, fine to show you guys what happens when you fail. Your game's going to end regardless, so it's really not a big deal. It's just that if you successfully Exfil, you can get yourself some whimsical Gobblegums if you Exfil past round 16, but it's not a big deal. So at the end of your match, you'll get all these rewards, and now let's talk Augments and your zombie builds as well, which I mentioned during the run, right? So Augments, you go to this tab here, Research Augments, and you select the ones that you want to research. Now, obviously, I've been grinding the game, so I've got every single one unlocked. It's going to be very slow progress for you, but like I said during the match, Juggernog is what I would select researching first, and you're going to want to research it until you get Reactive Armor. Reactive Armor is amazing. It's so good. I would also recommend Quick Revive's Dying Wish at the end of that little skill tree. That's amazing as well. So definitely click on to Research Augments and then get loads of XP in your matches, and that will give you XP towards your Augments research. And then you'll be able to go to the Equip Augments tab here and select the ones that you want to equip. So I want to equip Reactive Armor, and I want to equip, let's say, Retaliation. Deal bonus damage while health is low, for example. Now, I purposefully was turning all my Augments off just for the purpose of this recording, but once you start getting them unlocked, you can equip a Major and a Minor. So these are the Majors, and these are the Minors at the bottom. You can equip one of each for every single perk, ammo mod, and field upgrade in the game. So there's a whole load of options there, and you can make some really cool combinations, which I've been talking about in many of my guides and stuff as well. So subscribe so you don't miss those. Now, zombie builds are also super clutch. So if we go to loadout here, as you can see, I was just raw dogging it with the pistol because that's what you're going to start the game with. But if, for example, I go to my XM4, you can see I've got a whole bunch of other builds here. I've got this build with the round drum. I've got this one, which is one of the ones out of the battle pass. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff, okay? Now, if I set one as a zombie build, so you can see that little red icon on it, and you get that by pressing the left trigger, okay? That is going to mean that if I buy it off the wall in the map, or I get it out of the mystery box, it's going to come with these attachments set. So I can choose my own personalized XM4 build, just like this, with a suppressor and a CHF barrel, just like I recommended. And then every time I get that gun in the game, it will have the suppressor and the CHF, which is so useful. So zombie builds are super clutch. I highly recommend that you set zombie builds as you start unlocking things. So just go here, create a new loadout for a weapon, and then set it as your zombie build, and you'll get it in the game every time. And you can load in with it, obviously, as well, but you also want to be able to get it out of the box. Also, as you level up, you'll start unlocking better things than just concussions, like decoys and symbol monkeys. Those attract zombies. Kazimir's even better. You've got better lethals as well. To be honest, the blast trap down here, I think, sucks, to be honest, but the combat axe and the Molotov, they're pretty good. And you'll start unlocking field upgrades as well. And Ether Shroud is amazing, but Frenzied Guard is also pretty damn good. So I would start off by just switching it to Frenzied Guard when you get that, and then I would go to Ether Shroud a little bit later on once you unlock that. So that's your beginner guide to Black Ops 6 Zombies. If you've learned a lot today, then drop me a comment letting me know. And I obviously have thousands more videos talking about pro strats, in-depth Easter egg guides, secrets, etc. that you can click through to on my channel. So what I'd recommend you do is hit the subscribe button first of all, and that way you're going to stay up to date with all the zombies news as it happens, and you're going to start becoming more of a zombies pro. Second, on screen right now, I've got a build guide for the Wonder Weapon on Liberty Falls, and I've got the main quest guide for Liberty Falls as well as tips videos, so you can just learn a bunch of pro tips and some other bits and pieces that are customized to you as well. So click one of the videos on screen now, and I'll hopefully see you there in more zombies videos in the future. Bye for now.